Good evening, everybody.
What's going on?
Here we
Tuesday
are,
evening.
episode number 30.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No.
We've done
Doing
30 weeks of this.
damn. It was like
Crazy.
10, maybe.
Yeah. It's been fun, though. It's been a good year.
Yeah. It's been real fun. And the last probably month and a half too has been really fun. So
Yeah. A lot of people talking to and a lot of great conversations and we're looking forward to this one tonight. So welcome to the show, everybody. This is Hitting the Chip with Jake and Jordan, and this is episode 30 with Mr. Brandon Newey. So he is your late model champion from Colorado National Speedway this past season. Some of you know him, some of you might not. So, and this is the people that might not know him very well. This is going to be a good chance to learn who he is behind the helmet and uh, and share some stories. So he's got a long history that not too many people I think know about yet. So, yeah.
yeah, super excited. We want to kick this shindig off and introduce yourself.
Yes, so I'm Jordan Smith, driver of the 13S GAM, and yeah, I'll kick it over to this guy. Am I pointing the right way?
Other way. Well, at least for me, it's the other way. I don't know. Well, we're opposites. So
I'm just gonna start just doing two thumbs. That
yeah,
way.
you said that last year and we still messed it up.
I'm such a dork.
What's up, everybody? Jake Smith, driver of the 89 GAM, co-host of this here podcast. I don't know if you could see me or not with my camo on. At least I got the Nordiques going here, but um,
That's
yeah,
old school.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, this is that new Nordiques gear that they just came out with, like what,
Oh,
a
that's
couple
right.
weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and Johnny Berardi. Yes, I am cold because my basement is freezing, and my wife she puts the thermostat at 6.7,
Oh my
and
god,
had to
you're
throw that
so
in.
lame.
I know. But, yeah, it's a little chilly in here, so, yeah, I
Well,
gotta have my heavy stuff on.
at first, all I could see was your head because
Mhm.
of your, you
My
know,
camo.
your John Cena look.
Mhm. Hey, he's almost ready to retire, so I gotta get all the not you can't see me in as I can.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway.
Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna kick off a commercial. We do have a little bit of an announcement. We have a new partner for the rest of this year and looking into 2026. And so this is a new platform, if you will. It's called Pit Crew Pro. And we're going to give them a little highlight here. And then we're going to jump right into talking to Mr. Brandon Newey. So hold your horses and get yourself ready to go. Here we go.
Racing is all about finding an edge, and Pit Crew Pro gives you one. Add your car, choose the exact type, and your setup sheets instantly match your chassis. Build setups faster with clean, car-specific fields. Log race night sessions, tire temps, and notes, all in one place. The shock analyzer shows wheel loads from your travel data, so you know exactly what the suspension is doing on track, and the AI crew chief ties it all together. Ask any setup question, tight, loose, bumps, tires, and it gives real answers based on your car and your numbers. Stop guessing, start tuning smarter. Pit Crew Pro, built by racers for racers. Visit pitcrewpro.com to start your free trial today.
And there he is.
All right.
Welcome to the show, bud.
Thanks for having me. Hey guys.
Yeah, no problem, man. So to kick this off, we like I said, maybe not a whole lot of people tuning in right now might know much about you. So give us a little background about you. How'd you get into racing? Where'd you start and how'd you get going?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Indianapolis. I started go-karting when I was around 10 years old. And I think pretty common thread, my dad was in racing. He got me into racing. He has a long history as an IndyCar engineer. And then he actually owned an IndyCar team and was partners with Brian Herta in Brian Herta Autosport. So, kind of while all that was going on, I was, just born around racing, loved it from day one, got into go-karting, and then from there got into more kind of like open wheel road course racing.
Mhm.
So went from go-karts to Skip Barber cars to F1600 cars, to USF 2000, and then Pro Mazda, and
Dang.
did some some sedan racing, some spec Miata racing, couple one-off races like that. And then from there, I went to college, and kind of the common story is the racing just became more and more expensive, and the sponsorship required to continue just became prohibitive, because after Pro Mazda's Indy Lights, and you're looking at bringing $1 million to the team,
Oh, damn.
to it from either family money, or how we did it was raise sponsorship.
Right.
But then from there, went to college, came out to Denver from Indianapolis, and I got my MBA at CU Denver.
Oh, nice.
And it was kind of funny how we ended up at CNS, because we actually acquired Rocky Mountain Car Care in Broomfield, as a family business around 5 going on 6 years now ago, and came out here, saw a couple races, and then we're like, man, we gotta be a part of this and use it as a marketing vehicle for the
Right.
shop. And then that was around 2021. So kind of a long road to CNS, but primarily my background is actually in open wheel road course racing.
Man,
Nice.
that's awesome. How was that experience like going from road course to oval track? I mean, obviously you have your old man to kind of lean on a little bit with his insight, but
Mhm.
I mean, being behind the wheel, how much did you have to grow in that sense?
It was a really big transition, actually, and it's something I still think that like I kind of have to unlearn almost every time I get into the car, even today, just because I had done a oval race in an open wheel car, but the cars have downforce. The steering's really heavy. There's no power steering. So I did an oval race in F2000, USF 2000 at Lucas Oil, and that was really kind of my only oval race I had ever done. And then I had probably, I would say, 3 4 years out of the seat going to school, and kind of beginning my professional journey. And then hopping into the car, it was like totally into a stock car, was like totally foreign.
Yeah.
It was like it didn't do anything I wanted it to do. Like it was great. I felt like I was having to turn the car right the whole time, and it just felt super soft, and like kind of like this all the time. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
it was a steep learning curve for sure, but it seems like I want the front to just kind of dart and to move, just because
Mhm.
of my background. But yeah, it was a huge transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
going from that light to that heavy, it's like, don't work that way.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like on like cars with downforce, and especially on road course, all of your time is in the braking zone. So
Mhm.
yeah.
you have to hit the brakes when the car is at terminal velocity, when the downforce is at its highest level, to get that braking.
Right.
Mhm.
So I was, when I first hopped in the car, I'm smashing the brake pedal and driving it in as deep as I can, and just way over driving the entry,
Mhm.
and just kind of tricking my brain to kind of just back that up and be like, right now, like when I drive the car, I don't even feel like I'm braking. I'm just like kind of covering the pedal. But that
Mhm.
was just kind of having to trick myself.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a great point too, because the different styles between road course and that, exactly that, right? You teach yourself at such a young age to, I'm just gonna slam this sucker into the corner, versus, yeah, I'm like opposite. I have to keep telling myself you can go harder. You can go harder into the corner, and
Mhm.
your brain just doesn't naturally want to believe it, right? Like there's no way this car is gonna make this work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Because like I mean, for the first like handful of times I was in the car, like I would say like when I'm first entering the corner to like the middle of the corner when like I can actually feel like either the front or the rear slide
Hmm.
in the stock car, it just felt like totally numb to me. Like I had no feeling because I had the power steering, which is kind of masking some of what I was feeling in my hands in the
Right.
front of the car, which I wasn't used to. And then I couldn't feel like the front dive or pin on the front tires, which is something that you can really feel in like an open wheel car, especially with wings.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like it was like I've talked to like my brother and my dad about it. It's kind of like almost like learning like a different language, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Especially, I mean, we came straight out of go karts and went straight into doing big cars, and it's like you hit it on the nail. It's like this doesn't feel anything like what we're used to. This is weird, you
Yeah.
know. And then you hear people advice like, "Oh, don't be on a brake, don't be on a brake." It's like, you sure?
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
we're over the corner. If I don't hit the brake, like, nope, don't do it. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Because, like I said, I mean, all the time on a road course is in the braking
Yeah.
and really braking as late as you can. And, keeping the rolling speed up in a, I mean, I literally felt like I was in a tractor when I
Yeah.
first got out there and just tricking your brain to just be like, okay, you want to just kind of have that momentum type of just keep up the minimum speed. You want to
hmm
brake, obviously, but you don't want to, hit the pedal so hard that you completely upset the car and upset the balance. So,
hmm
um, I think, after the first, 6 races I did, I feel like I had a pretty good handle on it, but it's still something that I'm just always conscious of when I get in the car.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get to used to that feeling it in your butt feeling? You know, whether it's like, oh, that over rotated, or oh, it's not going anywhere.
I think in that respect, it probably helped me, obviously just because I had so much experience just in a car, period.
Hmm.
It helped speed that process up,
Yeah.
but it was really kind of foreign in terms of what I was feeling and what it meant the car was doing.
hmm
Because in like in how I describe it, or I think how a lot of people would describe it is like on a road course or an open wheel car, you're driving the car on the front tires, on the and it's really sensitive. It's really going to
Yeah.
change direction, and that's I mean, loose is fast in all racing, but even in road course racing, you want the front to point, you want it to point, and you want to have that kind of sensation of when you start to load the front, you want it to know where it's going.
hmm
And you'll never get there in a stock car. You'll never have like the equivalent feeling.
Yeah.
So I would always be like, I think it's pushing. I think it's pushing. I can't feel the front. And then, I would watch my onboard, and yeah, you have that moment on turn in a stock car where, no matter if you're carrying the necessary minimum speed into the corner, you're always going to be pushing a little bit, I would say. But then you get to the exit, and, like, because I was thinking it was so tight, and not really understanding, I would just realize as soon as I pass that point and get to the apex, then it was just completely loose. And I
hmm
wasn't
Right.
really feeling that. I was only recognizing that if I watched the onboard video.
Oh
Right.
yeah. hmm
That's so interesting because, yeah, I mean, I mean, I know for me, I want to feel what the rear end's doing, not so much what's up in front. Like just being in the car and just getting to drive so many laps now and
Hmm.
getting used to that feeling. I couldn't imagine what that's like from the opposite effect in that sense of
hmm
knowing what it feels like to feel it more up front than it would be of what you want it to do in the rear, more or
Yeah.
less. Yeah, that's interesting. So tell us a little bit more about some of your road course stuff, and then we'll get into like obviously this past season and some of the stuff at CNS. But did you ever go on like a national circuit or anything like that?
Yeah, so the Skip Barber stuff that I did was a national series. We used to follow IMSA around
Oh wow.
primarily. So we would be like the opening support race. So we did had like 2 races a weekend, and then we would be like the last race before like the Sebring 12 hours,
Yeah.
the race at Road America. So I got to race like, I was very lucky. Got to race on like all the premier road courses in the world. Road Atlanta, Road America, Mid Ohio, Watkins Glen,
Damn.
Sebring, all those tracks. So
Awesome.
that's really where I cut my teeth. And then in 2011, I finished third in the Skip Barber National Series. Moved up to F1600, which is like Formula Ford type of racing.
Okay.
And that we were actually a 2-car team, and we were a factory team for Magal Chassis, which is a chassis manufacturer out of France.
Wow.
And finished second in that championship. I actually lost that championship because they dropped a race. So I won the championship, and then they dropped a race. And my worst finish was more points than the other guy, and that was kind of a hard pill to swallow.
Oh
But
yeah.
um, from there, moved into the Mazda Road to Indy, which is the USF 2000 series that they still do.
Mhm.
And then the Pro Mazda series, which is now called, I think, Indy Pro 2000. And
Something
that's
like
the
that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that name has changed, but it's a pretty well-defined like development ladder on the
Mhm.
IndyCar side of things.
Right.
But from there, we were always kind of bootstrapping and selling sponsorship and doing a lot of B2B deals, trading signage on the IndyCar for basically we leverage that, I guess what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
sold a sponsor, not only would you get signage on my car, you'd get it on the Indy car. And then we did some things with Magal in Pro Mazda because we were a chassis dealer of theirs, and did a lot of things like that. So it was really cool. Like I mean, growing up racing against I raced against Connor Daly, Joseph Newgarden, Austin Cindric, and
Wow.
those guys are just going up and up the ladder because they have
Yeah.
they can afford to do it.
Right.
And not to say that they're not good drivers, because they're great drivers, but
Mhm.
like me and Joseph shared a garage when we were 15 years old at Newcastle, and growing
Wow.
up and racing with those guys, it was a good learning experience. So
That's crazy. That's such a cool story, man. I didn't
Mhm.
I and this is why I wanted to really talk to you, because I knew you had some history to you, but
Yeah.
didn't quite know that in depth of what you experienced for quite a while. That's wild. That's awesome. But oh, go ahead. Sorry, you look like you were going to say something.
no, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's funny how it all worked out, but it's really the primary reason of getting into it is even funnier, just because my dad, how he got into it. He started racing, oval track racing, kind of like this, dirt track racing in Georgia. So it's kind of all come full circle for him
Circle.
too, especially.
Nice.
So is he more excited to see you doing this, or is there a part of him that's wish he could have stayed on that road course path?
Well, I think this what we're doing now, it's been a really good change because it's more so for fun. You
Yeah.
Mhm.
know, I'm 33 now. I'm not thinking that I'm gonna, be a professional driver. because
Yeah.
back in the day we were, we had a lot of fun, especially go-karting growing up and back in the day. But there's always a lot of pressure
Yeah.
associated with it because you wanted to do so well. And now I look back on it and can be like, that what a cool experience I got to have. I was so lucky to spend that time with my dad, race those racetracks and stuff like that. But it's a little bit easier to take the moment in and just have fun the way we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. So what made you choose pro late models when you got into this?
So when we were looking at it, what we did was we had been at the shop for probably about a year at Rocky Mountain Car Care, a year or two. And, we knew about CNS. We had never been out there, but
Mhm.
we were like, okay. And I was totally green to like uh, oval track, short track racing. Like that wasn't my dad knew a lot about it. I didn't really know about it. I didn't really follow, any series like that. Cause I mean, I was in my other world. I was like,
Mhm.
um, I just didn't follow it.
Yeah.
I liked it whenever I happened to stumble upon it, or like we would go out to, I think we went to a couple of races out at IRP when the Bush series was in town.
Yeah.
Got to see, like, I remember I was pretty young, but I got to see, I think Trevor Bain um, was out there and did well. And then the next year he won the Daytona 500. So stuff like that I would remember.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But so that would have been like 2010 when I was still in high school and just getting into car racing. But what we knew about CNS, we came out and we watched a race, and we were like, man, like we got to do this. And the the reason why we chose late model is just because it was, really what we wanted to do, of course, is get in the super lates and go full bore and
Yeah.
I mean, I have an ace in my pocket with my dad. I mean, my dad has such great experience. I mean, he was a cup engineer as well for a year for Greg Biffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he can handle everything. I'm just not a good mechanic, but um, we decided to go late model because it was a little bit more cost effective. We started looking at Facebook Marketplace, started meeting people, met Jerry and Darren Robertson, and just kind of went from there and kind of decided that late model was the way to go.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, two really good people to go talk to about racing and late models. So that was a good decision on your guys' part for sure to start out.
Yeah, I can't remember how really all that happened. I think my dad kind of had a friend, and they were like, "Yeah, you got to go talk to those guys, and they'll get you set up." And I mean, we were really green to it, even though we had, obviously have experience, but it was still a learning curve for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you have any aspirations to get anything else? Like as far as divisions wise?
Yeah. I mean, definitely with we've kind of tossed around the idea about moving up, maybe into like a super late model, and right now we're in the middle of trying to raise money for next year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that like a super or a modified would actually kind of help my driving style a little bit, just because of the especially the entry, the cornering speed into the turn,
Yeah.
Mhm.
um, and just kind of flow a little bit better. But at the same time, um, it is just kind of a budget thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I think we've been doing this now for since 2021 and have a lot of historical data to pull from now. And I think I still have a little bit of unfinished business in the late model category. So
Yeah.
um, I would be happy either way.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, at
Yeah.
least you got one bucket list checked off with the late models, at least early in your career.
Yeah.
Got that old championship. At least you got that over
Yeah.
your butt,
Yeah.
too.
Well, and your brother is racing with you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
in-
So yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Elaborate more on that.
So he started in the late model class this year. He did some super stock last year, and I thought I was really proud of him. He did a really good job this year.
Mhm.
I was kind of the spoiled older brother, and he's actually a twin, so he's about 5 years younger than me. So by the time the twins came around, they were not able to do as much racing as I had done.
Yeah.
So he did some go-karting growing up and stuff like that. And really kind of, I guess what I'm getting at is he's totally green and just hopped into the late model and did like a super good job this year.
Uh-huh.
And was really exciting to see that. And I'm glad he was able to do that because he helped me so much on my car when we first got going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was really impressed by him in terms of him just jumping in there, no seat time, no experience I mean, it's a big car.
Yeah.
It's a serious car, and he hopped in and did a good job.
Oh yeah, from the start of the year and where he ended up, you could just see the progression happening as it was going on. Every week that you guys drove, it was like, man, his brother's starting to get
Yeah.
better here. It's like you better watch out. He's going to give you a run for your money.
Yeah, yeah. It literally every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So did he pick your brain a lot? Like once you got into it, did feedback, like sending, information back and forth, like driving tips and tricks and whatnot, I'd imagine.
Yeah, yeah. We're always constantly kind of talking about that.
Yeah.
I think you know, he doesn't want to necessarily just come right out and ask me. But
Mm-hmm.
if I see something or if there's something where I can see that I can help him, I definitely want to try and do that. Especially again because he helped me out so much when just working on my car and getting everything going when we first started out. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
I'll always try and give him a little pointer or two, and he seems pretty good about taking it. But nobody wants to hear from their brother on how to drive.
Oh, I'm sure because I've yelled at this guy before. Um,
Yeah,
we
you
were at a
guys know.
we were at a Wasso this year, and it just seemed like he wasn't driving the car hard enough into the corner. And so I finally got on the radio in the practice. I was like, quit being a fucking pussy and drive that son of a bitch. And it pissed him off. He went like a tenth and a half faster at least.
I might have to do that. I might have to get on his radio more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. If I spin it, because at the time, like they only allowed 6 cars on the track at a time. So it's like if you spun out, like there wasn't a whole lot of cars on the tracks where you weren't really worried about somebody coming up on you real quick. So it was just like, fuck it. If I spin out, I spin out. Like that's a good thing in a sense because it's like, okay, I way overdrove that and got on the brake way too hard. So yeah, I did that and went a tenth and a half faster. It's like, you asshole.
So there's your tip. Just get on the radio with him and just be like, okay, listen here, bud.
I don't think I don't think he needs to be. He's a little bit more fiery than me. I don't need to
Yeah.
fire him up any more than I think he already is. So we have Mike Liebendorfer on his radio who does a really good job with
Okay.
him and kind of helping him out and giving him
Mhm.
pointers about his line when I can't watch. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
uh, but I might have to take that opposite approach and see how it works out. It might not work out good for anybody else near him.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Or just
But
get in behind him and click over to his radio channel and be like, I'm beating you into the corner, some bitch. You need to dive it in there all faster and just back out of his channel real quick.
I should do that actually. I never even thought about that. I could talk to him when I'm in the car.
uh-huh.
Yeah. There's a couple of times I almost thought about keying over to his radio to, like, if we're like behind each other on a restart or like side by side or something like that, like talking to each other real quick or relaying information, but I was like, yeah, that's like where I had my radio. It was like I couldn't really reach it, so I was like, whatever. I just,
Yeah.
hey Mike, tell his spotter to do this. I don't know. He's way over there. He's not standing next to me. Like, well, go stand next to him.
So
That'd be
so
like
what's your
back in the day. Oh, I'm so sorry.
no, go ahead. Don't get
I was just
continue.
I was just gonna say that'd be like back in the day when I think the cup drivers could do that for like a year when that tandem drafting was going
Oh
on. They
yeah,
could
Oh
talk on
yeah,
each
that's
other's
right.
radios.
yeah.
That's
They had that
right.
big ass dial in the car. That's right. They had different radio channels.
Could you imagine that? Like being on that big of a track and just talking with your buddy?
I couldn't. I don't know. I don't have the brain power to switch my radio channel out there. I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel like doing 190, like my hands would be a little busy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm barely 100. My hands are busy enough, let alone add 90 miles an hour more to that.
Mhm.
I'm
And the
good.
G forces and everything.
No thanks.
Yeah. Um, oh, I totally lost my train of thought. I had a question for you, and I poof, like squirrel moment for me. I think it happens quite often. Just
Well,
saying.
so being that you're from Indianapolis and now in Denver, are you more of a Indianapolis, Indiana sports fan, or are you slowly starting to come into a Denver sports fans?
Well, so Indy doesn't have hockey or baseball.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm an Avs fan and a Rockies fan.
Well, you're
But
off to a good start right now. That's good.
yeah, the it's funny. I could go on a whole rant about this, but I have I like to cheer on the home team. I like the Broncos. I hate being in the stadium, when there's an away team that has like a bigger following than the That doesn't happen now that they're winning games. But I've been to
Right.
a couple Broncos games where they're cheering louder for the away team than they are the Broncos team. So I don't like to add to that, I guess I'll say. But
Gotcha.
if I'm at home, I'm definitely watching the Colts with my Colts hat on.
All right, all right.
Okay. That's fair. That's
That's
fair.
totally
Yeah.
fair. What's the plan for 2026 then? You guys both doing it full time? I mean, I know you mentioned that you're looking for some support in the sponsorship realm, but is that kind of the initial plan, is to go full force with both of you driving next year?
Yeah, yeah. So I think Ryan's got a lot to build on from a great year last year. There's a couple different things we want to do to the cars right now. They're kind of they've been moved out of the way, so real work can be done at the shop, and
Mm.
not trying to tie up too much space there. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff we want to do. Actually, in the championship race, I went through a lot in terms of at one point was looking the wrong way and had some contacts. So we got some body work to do. We got some, Steve Newey's got some ideas about what to do with this setup on
Mhm.
both the cars. So yeah, we want to be back full force. I think, like I said, we do still have some unfinished business out there. And yeah, I think it's a great class. I think it's one of the most competitive classes out there, and I'm glad we did well last year, and I think it'd be cool to do well again.
Mhm.
Eh, What do you and this is just me being
You
curious, more or less.
you
Me?
being you.
Yeah, me being me, because this tends to come through my brain a lot. But the rule changes and everything. Everybody's put in kind of like their input, and just kind of waiting that out to see what they say this year. But do you have any? I mean, I know the late models pretty decently well, but is there anything that you would like to see changed from last year to this year? Or I mean, being in the class the last few seasons, what do you think would help improve and keep continuing to see that class grow?
Um, well, I think the major rule that I had an issue with, a personal issue, and it's already been corrected, was the 30 pound um, addition of weight for cars off the tire cycle.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they're going to add 100 next year. to those cars, which I think should help a lot, because there were, and this is not, I don't mean any ill will or to talk bad or anything like that, because it's a tough issue. Like, what are you going to do? Have everybody buy new tires each weekend?
Right.
I think, that would probably hurt the car count.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
there's definitely instances where people are, if people are going to do a one-off race, they're coming in off the tire cycle to have, new tires against a field full of guys on race old tires, which is a big difference. And I don't think, the 30 pounds, it's definitely a penalty, but I don't think it was enough. So, but I think they're correcting that already.
Yeah.
In terms of upping the car count even more from that, I think it would be a little tough. You could go to like a car that would travel better, or a car that had, the 604 Pro late model type of car,
Right.
keeping the crate engine and then allowing, coilovers and stuff like that.
Right.
But then, everybody who races our class every weekend has to, drop major investment into changing their cars or getting new cars. So I think that that's prohibitive. So I don't know what else they could do to necessarily bump the car count, to bring I don't know, more out of staters, or have us be able to participate in like the traveling shows, like the modifieds can and the supers can.
Right. Right.
Other than that, I mean, I think it's not an entry level class, I would say, but I think it's a good it's a good mixture of of rules. But I don't know if I would have a specific rule that I would say I would want to change that's
Right.
not being addressed.
That's good to know, because I mean, you hear things from a lot of different people. I don't like this. I don't like that, because I mean, ultimately, I'm in complete agreement with you. That was one of the biggest things that I know Jake and I put in for, was just like, what are you going to do about the tires? Like, that's the biggest thing. That rule, I think, it 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 hindered the competition overall throughout the season. Did it create some parity? It did. You saw not your prototypical winners every single week, but it also hindered at the same time, like, people that just didn't show up. And I know there's a lot of people out there that just can't do it. Man, they have work schedule or whatever the case may be, right? Like, you don't want to necessarily deter them from not showing up to the racetrack at all. But what is that difference that you can make? Is it adding 100 pounds to the car, or is it going to like buy 2 tires a night? Because essentially for you guys are on every 2 nights, right? Running tires. Yeah.
Hmm.
So would that be a I guess a way of altering the rule to where it's still the same, you're still spending the same amount cost wise, but would it even the playing field at that sense? Because knowing that person can't, you get 2 tires and they get 2 tires and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I don't even know if there's like necessarily, if there is a solution.
Solution. Yeah.
I think the 100 pounds, I mean, even 100 pounds, like, I'm interested to see in how much, if it does happen next year where we have a lot of guys showing up, off cycle, how much that hinders them.
Yeah.
And where they put it on the car, they put it pretty high up. So, that affects the center of gravity a ton, and it
Mhm.
should really hurt their handling. But that sometimes, I mean, the brand new tires, the 2-lap qualifier, and then they go, you go have a 10-lap heat and go right into a 30-lap feature. I mean, they're still almost brand new. And, after you have that heat, after that heat cycle on our tires, it's a big difference. So I'd be interested to see. I think the 100 pounds will make a big difference, but I think there's still a chance that, even with 100 extra pounds, it still might be worth it to some guys to come out and be on new tires. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, because this is something else we've talked about on the show too. And I've talked to some people and they've put in suggestions on different things with points structure, especially for the heat races. What do you like the current point structure, or do you kind of want? Are you kind of one of those ones where it's like, let's put in a little bit more emphasis on like qualifying instead of similar points for the slow dash, fast dash?
I think it would be cool to do a point for pole. I
Mhm.
think that would be cool. I think I do like this. You're asking somebody who's biased right now. If I had maybe a different season, I might have a different answer.
Yeah.
But I had a really consistent season,
Yeah,
and
you did.
that's what won me the championship. And even with guys coming in and, I don't want to say stealing wins because, if you go out there and win, you earn it.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
guys who won off cycle, stuff like that, in this type of racing, you're never going to get away from that. I like
Mhm.
the fact that you get points for winning a heat race or finishing top three.
Mhm.
But I think maybe there could be like a bigger disparity in like winning a race to second.
Yeah.
There could be, maybe you do something where, I mean, you make the heat race a little bit longer and award more points throughout the field, because I think it's kind of a weird situation when you're out there and you're racing in a heat and you're in fourth place. You might if you're in fourth place or if you're in seventh place, you might as well pull off
Right.
sometimes because
Right.
you don't have any skin in the game at that point. So
Save the tire.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I also do think like, there's something to be said about being consistent. There's
Mhm.
something in racking up points that way and being consistent, having top threes, having top fives, and ultimately that pays off in the end, because I also think that incentivizes people to drive better,
Mhm.
because I mean, there's a lot of people in my class that could have had a better season if maybe they just made one better decision on track.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not to say I think everybody we race against is a great driver and races clean, but at the same time, I do see some people doing like, you know, unnecessary things. Like you're going to put your whole season in jeopardy
Right.
to make contact here, and maybe they're not thinking of it that way, but that turns out to be the case at the end of the year for the championship for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a
That's
good
a great
point.
point.
Yeah, especially kind of maybe making more of an emphasis on winning. So like an extra point or 2 points or something like that, just giving that winner their incentive, like you said. Yeah. That's a good idea. Nobody's
I
thought of
do
that.
like that because
Yeah.
that's the whole point of racing is to go out there and try and win.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Even qualifying. I love the idea of 1 point for the winner for qualifying. I mean that we've seen it time and time again over the course of the last handful of years, where it
Mhm.
can come down to that one little point
yeah,
for the championship.
yeah. I'm glad it wasn't like that this year, but like if there's like a lot of series I used to race in, you get a point for pole, you get a point for fastest lap, you get there was a lot of series I did where there was like an 8 point difference between first and second, and then a smaller difference between second and third,
Third.
and then
Yeah.
even smaller from third to fourth, and so on, so on, so on.
That's
Mhm.
interesting. That would make it really interesting.
When
Huh.
that would give more people, especially sitting in, like you said, like 4th or 5th, 6th range, there's no incentive to try and jump up one more spot. Like, well, you have 4 points on the line. That's a big jump.
That is
So,
a big jump.
you race a little bit harder, but you obviously, like you said, like do it cleanly and with the respect. But yeah, it gives you that little bit like, oh shit, I could gain 4 more points on this championship battle, or increase my lead another 4 points if I just get one more spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because like if you're going out there and putting your equipment at risk for a heat race.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no difference between you finishing fourth and somebody finishing seventh.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like it's like almost like a unnecessary risk of what you're doing. So
Yeah.
Right.
maybe that should be incentivized. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good point.
Good. Yeah. Good food for thought. Never thought about it from that perspective before, actually. Huh. Okay, so right now, real quick, I'm just going to make the announcement to all the people that are watching right now. If you have questions for Brandon, go ahead and start shooting them over now. We'll give you guys a few minutes to start asking some questions as we kind of wrap up our portion here, and then we'll start firing them off to you, and you can give your best answer. Don't worry, we won't. We'll cut out all the unnecessary questions. We'll protect you a little bit here, but.
I'm nervous.
Michael Wolf said, "Holy hell!" At first glance, he thought he saw Justin Bieber on the screen, but
he said that. Where
yeah.
am I able to see? Oh,
Can you
there
see
we go.
the screen?
Oh, public chat. Okay. Well, thanks, Michael.
Now,
Please tell me that's the
voice
first time you've
too?
heard that.
I used to hear that when I was younger a lot.
Really?
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't see
I
it,
don't-
but that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's a reach.
It's got to be
some
the
of the bone
mustache.
structure.
Maybe that's why I keep this. So
There you go. I think it's up, nose up. I think
yeah.
is what it is. Don't you wish you had his money? Then you could definitely do some super late model racing and
Oh,
go
dude,
out.
I'd be in the Cup Series. I'd be in IndyCar.
You'd be next to Austin Cindric there.
Yeah, I know.
Move over, bud.
Gosh.
So, how big was the party after it was all said and done?
I mean, it wasn't too big. We did have some beers at the shop a little bit, and had one or two at the track, and it was cool on championship night. There was a ton of fans coming over. We had our partners there. We had a really cool little booth with Advanced Auto Parts, and one
Nice.
of our other partners, Magnolia Road, was there, and they had a lot of fun. We were signing autographs, so it was cool to be able to do that. And we still need to do like a dinner with the crew, which is on the schedule here. But our crew is so small. We're a little bit too tired at the end of the night to throw down.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, totally understand that.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
with 2 cars, because you're just like, man, now we got 2 things to load up, and
Yeah.
with
And
that
our
car.
tow vehicles, even though it's about a 30-minute drive to the shop, you never know if they're going to make it to the track or home from the track. They're a little sketchy, and they've broken down before.
We growing up, there was quite a few times where we were broke down on the side of the road with a race car behind us. Our old
Oh, yeah.
man, he had this old, I think it was like an 82. Remember it was yellow and white. It was like an old, I think it was a Ford or Chevy, one or the other. Old 4-door 2500. And I remember one time we were leaving the track and we were just before what was that? Like where the Cracker Barrel and stuff is on the north side. What is that? 92nd or something like that. It's like 92nd, 925. We were stuck on the side of the highway for like 3.5 hours. And
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I think at least 4 or 5 times from what I can remember that truck broke down.
And this might have been after a night where he got tore down completely, so it might have been like 3 in the morning by the time
Oh my gosh.
we were even on the road.
Yeah,
That's
you're half
always
asleep in the
something
back.
That I am glad that doesn't happen at the track, is like complete motor teardowns or like pulling trannies and tearing transmissions apart, stuff like that. Because my dad back in the day with like Ed and Bruce Yackey and Jerry and stuff like that, they were all assholes to each other. I feel like they were just like proving points and just, you know, just to spite each other, I guess. And like, you know what? I want to tear motors apart today. I want to check camshaft weight, you know? And so it's like, you got to tear everything apart and pull all it out.
Oh
And
man.
yeah, and then you got to put it back together because it's like, you don't want it all in pieces when you put it in the shot or in the trailer. So yeah, we were there
Oh,
till 2 a.m. a lot.
I miss
That's
it,
the
but I
nice
don't
thing
miss
about
it.
having a sealed crate, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
true.
If you need to test it, just put a sticker on it and put it in their tech shed. And Monday we're going
Yeah.
down to Uptown shop and getting it dynoed. Adam, we got a dyno.
Oh, that's awesome. Are we? Has there anybody any other questions that have come through? Have you seen?
I have not seen anything yet. No.
Okay.
I
Well,
know
yeah.
one of the questions that get asked a lot is who was your favorite person to drive against this year?
Yeah.
To drive against this year,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't have a great answer for that. Besides my brother, I will say one guy I really liked racing with was Rick Smith. And
Okay.
he's since retired, obviously, but I think his son Chad raced in the last race of the year, and
Did.
he was cool to drive against. Like when I first started, and I was racing against Dan Alma and Rick Smith, and like the racecraft part of it was also like a huge thing where if you're on the outside of a guy and that was something that I had never experienced because you don't race side by side that long on road courses. So
Right.
Mhm.
racing against Rick Smith, and like if I was on the outside of him or if I was on the inside of him, in past years, it was always like, okay, I know he's going to give me just the proper amount of room, no more, no less. Where like it was still like he's putting pressure on you by making you drive, perfect. But there's
Mhm.
some people you get around and it's like, okay, I don't know uh, if they're going to give me the proper amount of room to exit this corner and not hit
Right.
the wall. So he would be somebody that I liked racing against.
Oh,
That's a
right.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Rick Smith. Yeah. He always had that 31 car. It was always unique to him. You see that number in a sense and think Mike Skinner and
Yeah,
and Rick Smith.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. Oh, we have one. I'll pull it up here. Go ahead and read it off, Jake. It's from Devin.
Yeah. It says, I might have missed it earlier, but is there a significance behind your number on the car?
Yeah, actually. So number 40, my dad raced the number 40 at short track, dirt tracks growing up. So we have some really cool pictures of him back in the day with like the car is covered in dirt and he's got his cowboy hat on and it's all hand painted and it's number 40. So that was the number he raced with, and that was the one I decided to go with.
Nice.
Awesome. It's a family
Nice.
legacy. You like that.
Mm-hmm.
So how
Yeah,
did he get
I'll have to find a
into
picture.
Oh yeah, definitely. How did he get into the NASCAR scene then?
Um, it's kind of a actually don't really know. So he was an IndyCar engineer for 20 years,
Yeah.
won the championship, won a bunch of races. Was Bobby Rahall's engineer when he won the championship in 1992.
Nice.
One of the best IndyCar engineers on the grid. What did some IMSA stuff when Andretti Green started their IMSA team with Honda. He was the lead engineer on that project.
Nice.
And he is a team manager as well. When he started a couple IndyCar teams, one was for, I don't know if you remember Mo Nunn Racing. They
Yeah.
started in like the 2000s. He started that team and was
No
a team
shit.
manager for that team. Yeah, team
Wow.
manager for Patrick Racing, team manager for Kelly Racing, and Alan Sir Jr., Scott Sharp, all those guys. And
Wow.
then had his sports car stint, and did the Andretti Green LMP2 car factory effort. Did some GT stuff, and then he 1 year, I think this was about 2016, he moved to Raleigh, and he was Greg Biffle's engineer at Roush.
Wow.
Nice.
And I think it was just kind of, he was looking for something to do at the time, and he knew somebody, and they put him in contact, and he kind of went. He's from Atlanta, Georgia, and that's what he grew up on is NASCAR dirt tracking, and he had done pretty much he did a year in Formula One as well, so
Wow.
he had done everything except for Cup. So I think he decided to go and knock that off the bucket list.
Damn.
What year was he with Greg Biffle?
I think it was 2016, 2015, 2016.
Okay.
It was actually like one of those years where Roush was just not very good, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it was funny to hear his stories on Greg Biffle's feedback on the car, and he always had good things to say about him, but some of those guys will, they're rock stars. Like they
Right.
get done with the race, they helicopter out of there, and he'd be like, he's like, so Greg said the car's got so much grip it feels like it's about to flip over, and just stuff like that. So it was just it was cool.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, because there's a guy that he does our shocks. One of his guys that helps out is Greg Biffle's cousin. So I'll have to ask him when we see him down,
Cool.
Oh yeah.
if he's there. I'm pretty
Good
sure
old
he'll.
Craig.
Yeah, Craig.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Craig.
we'll have to see if he's there. But
Oh, we have another one. Okay. If you had to choose between Cup racing or IndyCar / F1, which would you choose and why?
I would choose my goal growing up was IndyCar 100%. It's what I grew up around. It's what I watched growing up. It's what the guys I grew up racing with actually went into. Um, One of the really cool things that I was lucky enough to experience was when my dad's team won the Indy 500 in 2011 with Dan Weldon.
Yeah.
I was, 18 years old at the time. I was helping out, running parts, getting tires, stuff like that. And that was just kind of really like a formative experience for me, being around him. I raced with him in go-karts. We would all go out to Newcastle and race go-karts, and all those guys would be around. So he was like, as a driver who was trying to come up and go into that level, and him be around and be nice to me and talk to me and go out of his way to do stuff he didn't have to do, and then ultimately pass away at the end of that year. It was like, that was like my goal. That was like what I wanted to do. And still, if I had like a crystal ball or whatever, and had any chance, even over F1 or anything like that, would be to race in Indy 500, since I grew up there, and go that route. But I'd be fine with either three, man.
whichever one's gonna put you in a seat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Man, what an experience for you though, being able to see that firsthand. What was that? I mean, what was that aura like for that race? And specifically, since you were on the team that it ultimately ended up taking the crown for that one, but what was the team vibe like? What's it like being around that big of a race team in that setting?
It's just totally different than, I think it's probably it's a lot of what you would expect, but it's a lot of, what you wouldn't expect, because the guys are, they're a real team. It's like a sports team, like growing up playing football. It's much more like that than it is kind of like Saturday night racing, but there is a little bit of, Saturday night racing vibe involved. It's just like any other team. Every good team has good chemistry. they have real leadership, and that started with Dan, and the drivers and the crew chiefs and the engineers. But being exposed to it as a kid, it was just like, I think you wish the older you get, the more you could go back and maybe like take it in a little bit more, or realize how lucky I was
Yeah.
to be around that. I think I did realize that when I was a kid too, but like, as you age, you realize that even more. But it was cool to just be around him, see like, you know, how he operated within the team, the type of technical feedback he gave the engineers, what he was um, focused on to make the car go faster, what he thought the car should be doing, and especially on ovals because he was really good on ovals.
Yeah.
But it was just amazing to be around. It was actually I actually missed the Indy 500 win because I was racing in Lime Rock.
Oh shit.
So it was I think I see my brother Ryan is chatting, but yeah, he was
Yeah.
there for it. He was like he was probably around 11 or 12, so it was a really cool experience, and to see how it all works within a team was a big plus.
Man, that's
Nice.
awesome. Yeah, that's
So what's
such
the
a cool experience.
significance of May 29th, 2011 as the best day of your life?
I think that was the actual date of the
Date,
Indy
That was
500.
the date
Yeah,
of it? Okay.
yeah.
man. He does want to know if you can beat him in go-karts now.
I don't know. I don't know. We've been out there. So we do a little bit. My other brother, Justin. So Ryan is a twin. And
Yeah. Okay.
my other brother, Justin, has some go-karts, the Briggs stuff. So we'll go out there in Centennial and mess around a little bit. So they're
Yeah.
pretty fast in those two now, but they're younger than me. So
I took my wife over there. We went like usually like date night or date night. We'll go out to like get sushi and have a drink or two, and she wanted to go kart racing, which I was throttled by. She was like, "Let's go do something different." I'm like, "Okay." So we did the individual like rental carts for a little while, and then I took her in the double seater. Oh shit! I
was
almost
she
spit
freaking
her
out?
out of it. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I almost
yeah.
spit her out of it. She was holding on for dear life. She got out. She was always like, "My ribs are sore," and like, like yeah. Well, welcome to how you're supposed to drive the cart.
Those things are violent.
They are. They are. They're a lot of fun though. I do miss driving carts like that. Like it's a total, like you said, it's a totally different feel and a totally different vibe. And being that close to the ground too, like it's exhilarating as hell. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we told our wives that if the Rusty Wallace experience ever comes back and they have the two-seaters, that we're gonna pay for or request or both for us to drive the two-seater with them in it, with just Jordan and I on the track, and we're gonna just go out like we're racing each other, and they're gonna watch firsthand experience. And my wife gave the quick, "No, I am not doing that whatsoever." A little more choice words, but in a in a sense, that's what no, just a big no. Like, come
I
on,
couldn't
just
get
wait.
my girlfriend to do that either. I don't think she would trust me.
That's the biggest thing is if you were by yourself, maybe, but I know you and your brother, you're gonna mess around and you're gonna do
Yeah.
something stupid, and then you'll both wreck it. No, like, no, we're not that dumb.
Maybe
So
that's the question you put into your like vows when you're at the altar. You'd be like, "Would you trust me driving you in a race car? If no, then this isn't going to work."
yeah.
Okay. One final question here, and then we'll let you go. Would you ever run a figure eight or a train if given the chance to?
Oh man, I don't know. Those figure eights scare me. I don't. I watch them all the time, but I would like to get in one, but I would definitely need some proper coaching on the etiquette once you get to the intersection and who's going
Mhm.
first. So Yeah, I would get in one for sure, but I just feel like if you got to work on Monday, you better not get hit in there.
Yeah.
Well, given your experience going right and left, yeah, I bet you wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little more similar.
Yeah. Well, sweet man. Well, we really appreciate the time tonight. And, before we let you go, we want to give you an opportunity to thank whoever you want, talk about your sponsors, all that kind of thing. Give props to all the people that support you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you guys having me on here. This was awesome. I think it's great what you guys are doing for the drivers of the track and giving an avenue for everybody to get to know everybody and get, the exposure can only help. So appreciate what you guys are doing and thanks for having me. But yeah, thanks to my dad, Steve, Mike Liebendorfer, Ryan, Justin for being my spotter, Ryan for being my crew guy, and Magnolia Road, Advanced Auto Parts, Rocky Mountain Car Care in Broomfield. Come check us out if you need an oil change or anything bigger than that on your car. The guys at the shop work on the race car. They will be able to take care of your passenger car. So yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank
Yeah.
you again.
And good luck next year.
Yes.
You too, guys.
Let's
Yeah.
go back to back.
Yeah, we'll see you guys at the track.
All right, buddy.
Alright.
You take it easy.
See ya.
See ya. And there he goes. That was fun. That was a lot of information.
Did not know much of anything about his past. I
Mm-mm.
was flabbergasted with all of what he's done. Like, damn.
I mean, I
That's
had heard about his dad being a race engineer, but I did not know at that magnitude.
Right.
So him getting to experience a lot of that at such a young age, I mean, wow, what an experience.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty fun.
that's awesome. That was great. Hopefully you all enjoyed that as well, because that was a lot of fun for us. I
Mhm.
thoroughly enjoyed talking with him about all that stuff. So,
Mhm.
do you have anything real quick?
No, I was just gonna say we could get a little bit into the battle of fenders because
Yes.
as CNS posted yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, because today's Tuesday. Yeah, I, I have my days all mixed up for some reason. It
Okay.
feels like Wednesday. But yeah, for people watching right now, we kind of want to hear from you about that post yesterday. About would you? I know it does sound like they're going to keep Saturday on for the schedule, but kind of want to hear from people that would you want to do it on a Friday if it's the better weather, or since it's the enduro race, it's like, hey, let's just go out there, rain, snow, sunshine, dust storm, which will probably happen anyway. Would you just keep it Saturday? So I what you start. I want to hear your opinion
Okay.
first.
Personally, I think that next season that they should look at moving it up,
Right.
like a couple weeks, or just strictly like right at the end of October. Um, I do thoroughly enjoy this race, but I mean, getting into the latter parts of November, you just run that risk of it being not even just snow, just being super cold. I mean, you look at all the month of November last year, it was just freezing cold. Um, and I mean, I'm kind of a pansy, I guess. I just don't like being out in the elements, really, unless I'm driving, right? But just to go
Or
watch it, yeah. But um, eh, to answer your question, I mean, if it means that a lot of people aren't going to end up showing up because it's on Friday, then I would just leave it for Saturday and then roll the dice.
Mhm.
I think at this point, because it's so close to the event itself, had this been like a week ago, but I know they can't make that decision based off the weather for 2 weeks out, though.
Mhm.
Um, but it just makes it harder for people to change their plans and get to the racetrack. So I say
Yeah.
just roll the dice on Saturday and see what happens.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of similar thing. With even just some of this year running a Friday night, Saturday night show just from our regular schedule. was
Yeah.
hard enough, and there
Yeah.
weren't even holiday weekends, right? And it just makes it tough on people, and you can see physically the car count is much different on a weekday than it is on a full Saturday. So, um, I I kinda glad they're keeping it on Saturday. Yeah, okay, it's gonna be a little cold, but, that's what happens in Colorado in November, right?
Yeah,
It
that's
it it's gonna be
exactly it.
cold, and I know they are trying to choose the best weekend to do it, with especially there's a lot of other things going on, like, Adam was helping out with, you know, what's that one guy out in Winchester. So, obviously,
Oh,
since this is kinda Adam's
mhm.
baby, couldn't do that weekend, and then there's the Las Vegas Open Wheel Showdown, and people go out and do that, so it's like, you wanna kinda make sure you do it when you know you're gonna get the most amount of people to show up. So, it's
Yeah.
6 of one, half dozen of the other, maybe next year they can test the waters of maybe a late October race and see what happens. I mean, the worst you can do is try, and then next year you just, change it up
Make it
again, right?
change it up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a badass event. I mean, it's what, 5 grand to win, and if you saw the post today, there's all kinds of different prizes and, um, cash and rewards to be had throughout the entire day of where you finish and whatnot. So it's gonna be a cool event. I'm excited to see it and hear all about it and see who wins and,
Mhm.
um, the fact that they're sticking some funds and sponsorships into it. I think it's
Right?
it's it's great.
Yeah, it's cool to see that post today about the payout,
Yeah,
which I can't believe they did that.
yeah.
They never post payouts. But, it was good to see that, and then, like, who's putting up the money for that specific position,
Yeah,
or the bonus money, stuff like that, so you get to know the sponsors of who's helping out with that race, so yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Um, yeah, here, pull up, Eric's comment here at what, 7:38.
7:38. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one?
Oh, well, that one, yeah. I do, but my wife turning it up, uh, is the issue.
Oh, are you
She
wanting the other
the other
comment
way.
about the dirt
Yeah,
tires?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, put some dirt tires and run in the snow. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I know it would be super miserable for the drivers getting snow in their face and stuff, but I think that'd be fun,
Well, you've
you know?
seen the videos in the past where, like, they had sprint
Like
cars
like
out on
racing.
lakes and stuff,
Yeah,
right? Remember?
I saw a video of one where they had, like, dirt modifieds
Out on
running
their
ice tires
Yeah.
out on a lake.
That'd
Yeah.
be that'd be pretty badass. I mean, you can't see shit,
Oh, no.
but
You couldn't see the cars. I don't understand how they even made the corners because it's like you can't see nothing,
yeah.
you know?
No,
Uh,
it's gonna be a great event though. I'm getting to grow. This event is growing on me and more every year. Um, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of people that get involved in it, and I mean, it's 300 laps of craziness, to be honest with you. And there's a lot of people that get involved that don't normally run at CNS too. Like you get some dirt involvement, people that run on the dirt regularly that come and
right.
enjoy this event. So it's great for the overall, not only just for the track, but for the racing community as well. It gives them a last shot of the year to
Mhm.
just get out on the racetrack and go have some fun.
Yeah. Um, Hit Devin's comment on the last one here.
The maybe ad,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, so, I mean, you could, but, I mean, that night, they're starting it early anyway, and then plus they already got, what, 6 shows? 6 divisions on the docket for that night anyway.
yeah. What
I
is
feel
there,
like
like
that's kinda
5 or 6
yeah, because you got Bandos, you got Legends,
legends,
the Super Stock, Pure Stock, Show, Trains. Sometimes they have the figure
figure
8.
eights?
Oh, no, they do have the figure 8s run. I feel like there's one more in there
Yeah,
that
because
I'm missing.
um,
Demo X.
well, they had Demo X, and then they had, what was it? Was it late models or was it what
No.
was trucks? There was another bigger division though. You have to go to look at the schedule, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's like 5 or 6 different
Yeah.
divisions going that day.
I mean, you would have to start literally at 8 in the morning, and I know that would be tough just because the tech itself would be a nightmare. And there's going to be, 200 plus cars potentially anyway. So if you had that on the Halloween night show, that those pits would be, I mean, I guess the pits would be super packed with full of cars. That'd be great. But this show needs its own day, right? Whether it's an off weekend or a Sunday or something, it's its own show, and it
Yeah.
deservedly needs its own day.
Yeah, I think following it up closer to the season, I think just because of the weather would help a lot.
Mhm.
That's all. I don't think it needs to be combined of any sort with any other race day or event. I think, yeah, just move it up a little bit just so you have a little bit nicer weather, and
Right.
open it up for the fans, because it's still very new and fresh, the season, and I think you would get a lot of fan involvement more than what you would get like right now, to where you're
Mhm.
just opening up the pits, but you could open up the main grandstand side too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just another weekend of, just having more asses in the stands.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody that goes out there definitely bundle up. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
Gonna be
And,
cold.
definitely have fun because it's the last hurrah for the year before 2026, so
Yeah.
it's full off season mode now.
Yeah, and looking forward to the Snowball Derby. So if anybody hasn't seen yet, couple of announcements around the Snowball. Jace Hansen's going down there again this year and representing JDR. There was also a post put out the other day about Preston
Yes.
Peltier, Mr. P1 himself, is going to be racing in the old 48 car that he used to drive for the Vecchiarellis and
Yep.
Generator Source.
We'll have to make sure we bring some ABC stickers for him just to make all the panels are covered with ABC stickers.
Yeah, that would be really funny. Hey, bro,
Maybe
we got some extras for you just in
we
case.
we should get one that's like 8 inches in diameter and be like, do you think this is big enough for them to see
Stick
that
it on
this?"
the windshield.
Yeah, there you go.
It's sponsored by ABC now.
Yeah.
Um, but not only in the super late model division are two people that are pretty well known around these parts, but in the modified division, it was announced that Cade Fox is going to be traveling down to the Snowball this year and attempting to run the 75. So that's going to
Yeah.
be super exciting for him and Kenton and that whole group. Really looking forward to watching them and see how they perform.
Yeah. It's just nice to see some more cars locally getting out of town a little
Yeah.
bit more and getting that experience. I know we've done it the last 2 years, and there's some other drivers like Nate and John
John.
Seeley in the modifieds, and then, um, I know a lot of the super late model drivers have gone out of town with the Cars Tour, especially this year, but then obviously last year with SRL. But it's kind of nice to just see some different names, uh, go out of town. Like Michael Scott last year with he did that,
Snowball.
well, the snowball, and then he did that memorial race that I think isn't that this weekend? There's,
Oh,
or-
is it the Bob Bigley
yeah,
or the
at
Bill
the Freedom
Bigley?
Factory.
Yeah, the one at Freedom Factory.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Freedom
always the
Factory.
weekend
Yeah,
before the Snowball. Yeah.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, he went and did that last year, so it's good to see some cars and some drivers getting out of town and supporting Colorado local driving, racing scene. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
going to
good.
be a lot of fun. Definitely some people to follow. I mean, the grandest stage of them all, that the Snowball Derby, going to have some representation from Colorado in performing in a couple different divisions. So, you guys will have to go to Flow Racing and subscribe to it and cheer on our local drivers.
Yeah. I will have to say, because I know Kenton doesn't watch this till like a day or two later, but Kenton, when you watch this and you go down to the Snowball, make sure you try and be one of the first ones trailer wise getting into the track when the modifieds are allowed. because they don't give you a whole lot of space to park. Because obviously the supers and the pros are number one for that weekend, and they get prime real estate when it comes to parking,
Yeah.
and they stick you out in the back 40. So make
You
sure
don't
you're
want
one
to
of
be
the
in the grass.
yeah, you don't want to be in the grass. They do have some concreted area, so make sure you're like one of the first cars out on the track to get pitted, because if you get stuck out on the grass, it sucks.
Yeah, we this past weekend they had kind of the preview, like just an open hot lap session down at Five Flags Speedway, where a lot of the different divisions, and they held the Crown Vic race down there as well.
Mhm.
But if anybody saw Jace Hansen's post, that there was some people fighting about who is P1 on the board for the super late models down at
Yeah. For like
open
what,
practice. Like,
4 or
Jesus.
500 bucks?
Yeah, like holy
It
cow.
was I think it was, yeah, 4 or 500 bucks for the supers. It was like 3 or 400 bucks for the pros, and I think it was like 200 bucks for the modifieds if
Modified.
you ended up being P1 for practice. But it's like, should they get paid to be P1 for practice on an off weekend? Like,
Yeah.
Jim,
Jim.
tractor owner, hint, hint, wink, wink. I might try harder in practice if that's the case.
we already try hard enough, and 9
Yep.
times out of 10 we're pissed
I
off by the end of practice. So
I'd rather have the overall purse and the pay down between each position a lot higher than getting paid 400 bucks to win practice.
100%, 100%. But yeah, it's going to be a great event. The Snowball Derby, it's something I definitely look forward to every single year to watch it, no matter what, whether being there or not. It's one of those things you have to be a part of it, and you got to watch the race itself. It's such a prestigious event, and best of luck to the JDR crew and P1 chassis and Kenton and Cade. I mean, go down there and kick some ass and have some fun. It's definitely going to be for the modified side. There's going to be a lot of some of the best drivers in the country will be there, so you're really going to know where you stack up when you go down to an event like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, because we've we've been seeing across different people that we've met from the Midwest Modified Tour and some other, tracks out in the Midwest, announcing that they're going down to the Snowball for the modified. So the modified should have a pretty damn good car count when they go down there. And I know Brian Sanders, he helps work the um, Snowball show itself as race director. Um, and he was saying that there's enough pros to where, like, I think he said like 35 cars could possibly go home if they don't qualify for the show.
Well, yeah, and it was announced that Kyle Busch is going to be driving in super late down there. Keelan Harvick's going to be in the pro late model division this year.
I think Evan's gonna be in the super.
I didn't see his name on
I
the
thought I
list.
saw that he was
Driving a super.
in there.
Maybe he is. This was a while back when they first like announced, or they
Mhm.
had like one of the preemptive lists of people on there, and I didn't see his name. But hey, I mean, even still, you got Caden Honeycutt going for number 2, and he's driving again in multiple divisions.
He's driving a mod too.
Yeah, he's driving a mod.
Actually, I think he's driving all 3. Yeah.
Is he going to try to do that again this year?
All 3. He's driving 1 and all 3, yeah.
Yeah, because last year he attempted that. Remember, and he he blew the motor, I think, in the modified. Right? Was it
Something like that, yeah.
did something happen? He was leading the race, and poor bastard had to pull off.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's going to be a stout field across the board. Yeah, best of luck to everybody that's involved in going down there.
I think there's a lot of Eric Jones is gonna be down there. Carson Hocevar. God, there was a
Johnny
Noah
Sauter.
Gregson, Johnny Sauter, Noah Gregson is gonna be there.
Yep.
There was a couple more that I saw.
Well, you got like Bubba Pollard,
Oh yeah, those guys.
Ty Majeski.
Mhm.
They're all going to be a part of it again. I mean, it's the cream of the crop when it comes to the
Yeah.
field. I mean, just some stout names, and
Sammy Smith.
Sammy Smith. Yeah, I mean, there's some of the best in the top tier divisions of racing in general.
If Junior all of a sudden just shows up and pulls out a number 8 Budweiser, or not even Budweiser car, but like a, what is that, mom and pop's sponsor he has, or a Sundrop car.
Some drop car, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
and
pretty badass.
that'd be pretty badass.
That
Just
would be
doesn't
pretty
tell
badass.
anybody and then just shows up. That'd be funny.
That would be pretty badass. But I mean, shoot. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be interesting to see who wins. It's a stout ass field, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I have for this evening. Jake, you got anything else?
Just again, stay warm this weekend. Have fun. Libations help. So, and hand warmers, or like me, you just throw on a big beanie and a big ass hoodie, and you're good to go. But no, have fun. Definitely post stuff on Facebook if you're there. We always love seeing stuff on Facebook of how things are going or who's there and how the event's going in general. So, but mainly just have some fun, and yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday.
Yep. And everybody stay safe out there during that race too. Hopefully everybody comes home in one piece and finishes the race. So for me, thank you all for tuning in, and thanks again to Brandon Newey for joining us this evening. That was a great time, and we look forward to next Tuesday. So for me, that's all I have. Jake, you want to close this out?
Yeah. Well, everybody have a great Tuesday night. Happy Thanksgiving. I guess I forgot about that. That's in 2 days. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots of turkey. Have some fun with your family, and be thankful for this year that we made it another trip around the sun.
That's true.
But for Hitting the Chip, this is Jake and Jord signing off. Have a good night.
Take it easy, everybody.